Welcome back to the Elias Macko Show. Now, our next story is raising questions about trust and accountability in the financial sector. Police in Quebec City have arrested a former financial advisor for the RBC, for the Royal Bank of Canada, who's accused of defrauding vulnerable clients. 35-year-old Ange Coudu allegedly siphoned a total of $850,000 from various clients over several years. Let's get more details here with Vincent Larouche. He's a journalist and head of investigations over at Presse. Vincent, welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Good morning.
When did you first learn about this story, and why did it pique your interest?
Well, I think I heard about it 2 weeks ago. Mr. Coudu was arrested just before Christmas, but then everybody was on vacation, so it was hard to get details about it. But what really sparked my interest is that when you're going to the bank, and especially if you're a vulnerable client who needs help managing his savings, you have to have total confidence that the advisor you're dealing with at the counter will take care of you, take care of your savings, of your money, and you need to have confidence that they're doing the best they can to help you in that regard. You don't have the means yourself to do it by yourself, so you rely on them. You have to rely on them. You don't. There's no real alternative. So we need to have confidence that these people can be trusted, and in this case, it was obviously not the case. That's why we decided we needed to dig a little bit about this story.
Tell me about those vulnerable clients. Who exactly did he defraud?
So there was one common trope to all of them, is that they were receiving all their correspondence from the bank through the mail. So the paper version, not electronically, not by email, anything. And that's not something that is forbidden or that is even necessarily discouraged in regards of good practices with your bank. So these people were receiving regular correspondence from their bank in the mail, telling them everything is going fine. Here is your balance. Everything you have with us, we're managing it. But Ange Coudu had a scheme where he would go into the system, change the address of correspondence momentarily, just for a little short time. Then he would he would basically steal the savings of the person. Then there would be a letter that would be sent to the customer, but then it would be sent at the wrong address, advising them that the money was taken out of the account. He would change back to the good address immediately after the warning had been sent, and then the people would continue receiving their normal correspondence from the bank. So they would never receive that one letter that would tell them that their savings were gone and that it had been, maybe some of their assets had been liquidated, changed to cash at the counter. And they would not be aware that their money had disappeared. So that was really his modus operandi. He would also target people who were older, maybe not who would not have maybe would not watch as closely as some others their accounts. There was one man who had just lost his wife. He needed to liquidate some assets to pay for the funerals. And he asked his bank counselor to do it. So Mr. Coudu did it, but he gave him only a fraction of the proceeds and kept the rest in his own pocket. There was a lady who was retired. She had some savings for her retirement. He would take out a few $100,000, and she never received the letter warning her that some of her savings for her retirement had been gone. There were also when a few of the bank customers were deceased, and their relatives were waiting for the inheritance to be settled to access all the various accounts. So there was a long period there where nobody would really be watching into the account, the real balance of it. And he changed the address, so they never received any letter telling them that some of it was disappearing. So he really targeted some people where he knew exactly what he was doing, and that there was an opening for him
And
to steal it.
all of this still unproven in court. These are the allegations here.
Exactly. Allegations from the Crown. He's supposed to appear in March in court. We reached out to him. He didn't want to discuss the allegations yet, but he was fired from the bank and arrested by Quebec City Police, and he's awaiting for his trial now.
Do we know what does the police, what does the Crown allege he did with the money?
Well, he seemed to be having a luxury lifestyle. He was buying Mercedes cars, some of them paid in cash. He was traveling around the world. He was living in luxury hotels in Côte d'Ivoire, which is his country of origin, and buying expensive clothing, various luxury items. And yes, I think a lot of the money had disappeared by the time the police were able to catch him. However, the bank ensured us that all the customers had been reimbursed.
Gotcha.
So yes, they have provisions for that kind of situation, and I think it was settled with all the customers.
So I guess that leads me to my last question here on the bank side of things. We haven't talked about RBC so far. Should they be doing more? Do we know anything about what they are doing to try and stop this type of fraud from happening?
Well, that's a good question, because actually, from what we can understand from the police documents that were filed in court, it was the bank's own security services who uncovered this case and who gathered all the evidence against their own employee. He was confronted by the bank security, and then the police were called. So they caught him. They were investigating him, and they do have some measures of control. He was filmed while he was taking out cash money at the counter from his own customer's account. So they are doing things, and there have been other cases of employees fired from the RBC in the past, but they're the biggest bank, so we have to remember that statistically it might be normal that we might see more cases of employees at this particular institution if it's bigger.
Yeah.
But it does raise a question, because he kept doing this for more than 2 years allegedly. So it's quite a long period. I'm sure they will be reviewing all their controls and their security procedures to try and maybe speed up the process when somebody is doing that kind of thing, to catch it maybe earlier. But it's important to say they caught him. They did their own internal investigation, and then the police was called. So they were not inactive in that regard.
Vincent, listen, I have to leave it there. I want to thank you so much for coming on and talking to our listeners about your piece from last week. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
That is Vincent Larouche. He's a journalist and head of investigations over at La Presse.
I'm Dylan Playfair.
And I'm Tyler Smith.
We're putting loneliness in the penalty box by talking to some of our favorite athletes about the importance of friendship.
This is Bromance.
Bromance is brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, proudly Canadian-owned and operated. Charm has been part of your love stories and bromances for over 50 years.
And you can find Bromance on the iHeartRadio network or wherever you get your podcasts.